Welcome to Fenway Park on a beautiful afternoon for baseball. It's Game 2 of a 4-game series between the Orioles and the Red Sox. Welcome inside the broadcast booth, everybody. I'm Don Orsillo, as always, joined by Jerry Remy. Welcome to Red Sox baseball. Well, last night the Red Sox dropped the first game of the series. Today, a bit of a lineup change. David Ross in the lineup today for Boston, and so far, a good start for Ross.
It has been, Don. You know, it seems like every time Ross gets in the lineup, he does something well to help the Red Sox. And a couple of games ago in Chicago, he had a couple of very nice plays. First, defensively at home plate, where he took a relay throw from Dustin Pedroia and really scooped that second hop to apply the tag to Adam Dunn to get the out at home plate. A big play in the game. And later on, a base hit down that first base line to drive in a run to give the Red Sox a lead in the ball game. Now, Ross has been around a long time, and he's very solid behind the plate. When you look at the numbers, look at the last 5 seasons. A 3.29 catches ERA. That's the best in the major leagues when he is behind the plate. So he does a very good job handling the pitching staff. So, you know, the 2 catches, A.J. Pierzynski and David Ross, both veterans, both very comfortable behind the plate for the Boston Red Sox.
He'll be behind the plate today catching. Felix Dubrano gets the start for the Red Sox today as Felix comes in with a record of 1-2, a 6.75 earned run average. He is 2-2 lifetime against Baltimore. We're back with the first pitch from Fenway right after this. By Southwest Airlines, your New England Ford dealers, Toyota's website for deals by Toyota.com, and by Dunkin' Donuts. Well, we welcome you back to a beautiful day here in Boston with a breeze rolling from left to right across Fenway as we get ready for Game 2 of the series. Let's check in with Gary Streisky.
So, Don, after that diving stop Brock Holt made to punch out the out yesterday, you wouldn't think that he was a guy who wasn't that comfortable with third base, but Holt, out of 12 games he played down at Pawtucket, only 2 of those games came at the hot corner, so admittedly, he's still learning the position here on the biggest stage. And our Geico quote of the day.
For me, being at third, I haven't played over at third a whole lot, so I'm still trying to learn, where I'm supposed to be and the balls I'm supposed to go after and let go. So, but Herrera's played, short a lot, so I'm sure he'll help me out over there, and looking forward to it.
Brock Holt back at third base today for the Red Sox as the Red Sox take the field. And as they do, let's check out the visiting Baltimore Orioles starting 9 today as Nick Markakis back in the top spot of the O's order. He's in right field with Delman Young, the DH. Adam Jones in center field bats third with Chris Davis at first base. Nelson Cruz in left field with Matt Wieters doing the catching. All-star shortstop J.J. Hardy bats seventh with Jonathan Scope at third base batting eighth. And Steve Lombardozzi back at second base for the Orioles. He bats ninth. Today's Red Sox starting pitcher is presented by your New England Audi dealers. Experience the all-new 2015 Audi A3 today. Felix Dubron's fourth start of the year. He comes in at 1-2 with his 6.75 earned run average, 8 strikeouts to 7 walks, and opponents hitting at .317 against Dubron. Last time out was a loss against the Yankees. He had 6 2/3 innings, giving up 3 runs against New York.
The Red Sox defense is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. They are 9th in the American League with 11 errors in 17 games. Brock Holt will be at third base. Jonathan Herrera, the shortstop. Dustin Pedroia at second. And Mike Napoli, the first baseman. Left to right, Mike Karp, Jackie Bradley Jr., and Grady Sizemore. And David Ross gets a start behind the plate, catching Felix Dubron.
Umpiring crew, Mark Carlson has a play calling the balls and strikes today with Ted Barrett, the crew chief, at first base, Will Little at second base, and Paul Schreiber is the umpire at third. This game is available in Spanish. The SAP function is brought to you by the new Captain Morgan White Rum.
Buenas tardes, amigos.
Now the conditions here today at Fenway Park. Lots of sunshine so far, 66 degrees the temperature. The breeze pretty strong at 15 miles per hour left to right, and expecting more clear skies throughout the afternoon. A lot of kids here at the ballpark today, and his first game and his birthday here at Fenway. Having a good day today. Great day to come out to the ballpark. A little warmer here today than it has been. And the Red Sox trying to bounce back after a tough defeat here last night to the O's. Nick Markakis about to lead it off here against Felix Dubron. Now Markakis has been leading off every day so far for the Orioles this season as he stands in. Dubron ready, and the first pitch of the ball game is going to be in there for strike one over the outside corner. Well, last night, right out of the gate, Mick Markakis down the line of what appeared to be a foul ball. The Red Sox challenged and lost. And Markakis would come around and score, as it turned out in the first inning. Pretty controversial play here last night, and my thoughts have not changed since. Jerry, I think they missed it.
I think they did too, and so far replay has been kind of back and forth as far as the Red Sox are concerned. Mostly back.
1-1 pitch slice foul just above the Orioles dugout on the third base side.
Only win of the season for Dubron coming against these Baltimore Orioles. That was on his first start of the season. 5 1/3 in that game, 3 earned runs.
Dubron lifetime against Baltimore, 2-2 with a 4.61 earned run average. His only victory, as Jerry mentioned, against Baltimore. Losses against Texas and at New York. As Dubron gets his 4th start of the year. 1-2 pitch. And it's back up the middle into center field. A base hit for Nick Markakis. A couple of doubles in last night's game, but has a single here to start the afternoon.
He's really swinging the bat well, and against Dubron quickly gets ahead, but Markakis with the base hit up the middle. Came into the game a .462 hitter against Dubron, and that's going to rise with this base hit up the middle.
Lead runner on here for the O's in the first inning, and it brings up Delmon Young. .379 start for Young with a home run, 4 runs batted in. They'll take strike one. Young has a 6-game hitting streak coming into today's game. And is down on the count, 0-2.
Cut fastball that time for Dubron to get the swing and miss from Delmon Young.
A Young part of the new look Orioles. You can add Nelson Cruz to that list as well. Taps it foul and stays alive. Still 1-2. Orioles starting the day 8-7. A game back of the Yankees in the AL East for Buck Showalter's team. Still bunched up. Red Sox are 7-10, but only 3 games back of the Yankees in the AL East to begin today's games. 1-2 again. And Young watches that one go up and away. 2-2. Well, the newcomer, certainly the Orioles, a guy we'll see tomorrow, Ubaldo Jimenez, who we saw in Baltimore in the first series of the year. Matched up here tomorrow against Jake Peavy in Game 3 of the series, a night game tomorrow night. 1-2 is popped up, foul out of play.
Yeah, 7 o'clock start tomorrow night here at Fenway Park, and Sunday night baseball game, and of course the 11 o'clock start on Monday morning.
DeBront working deliberately here with a man on as Markakis at first with a good sized lead. There goes Markakis, and it's a swing and a foul. Literally fouled it out of the glove. Actually went around for strike 3. Glanced off the glove of Ross. And Young strikes out for the first out.
Yeah, so Markakis will remain at second base. No contact by Delman Young. He chases a high changeup that time. No contact, but it bounces out of the glove of David Ross. And Markakis, who is off with the pitch, will be in scoring position at second base.
So runner at second, 1 down. Adam Jones, the batter. Jones at 271 to start the day. Home run, 7 runs batted in. Now today's key matchup is brought to you by Honda. Start something special. The great deal on a Honda. Adam Jones against Felix DeBront. Lifetime is 2 for 19 with 8 strikeouts. And DeBront hoping that trend continues. Jones will take a ball, according to Mark Carlson.
Looked like a pretty good pitch right at the top of the strike zone. The cut fastball from DeBront.
Outside this time, 2-0. Red Sox dropping the first game of the series to the Orioles last night. Still, the Red Sox have won 2 of their last 3 games after winning the final 2 games in Chicago to win the last road trip for Boston. And John Lackey getting the start here last night. Another tough outing for him. Second straight outing in which he's allowed 6 runs. The first one against New York in New York, and then last night against the O's. 3-0 delivery is in there for a strike, and it's 3-1 now to Adam Jones. Markakis at second base, 1 out here in the top half of the first inning. Strike 2 as DeBront battles back. Full count. Adam Jones bats now. Chris Davis waiting on deck. Payoff pitch to Jones. And it's fouled off to the right, out of play. Jones 294 with runners in scoring position, and even better lately, 4 for his last 6. As he bats with Markakis at second base, and 1 out here in the first inning.
Jones with 7 RBIs on the season. as we see kind of a gusty wind blowing out toward right field this afternoon.
Down and in, ball 4, and down to first base goes Jones. The first walk given up by Felix Dubranta of the day. Well, baseball is back in season, so gather 20 or more of your friends, family, and coworkers for a group outing at Fenway and secure exclusive access to seats. Call 877-RED SOX 9 or visit redsox.com/groups for more information. A great crowd on hand here today at Fenway Park on what has turned out to be a very nice day. Breezy here, but comfortable conditions. Orioles threatening in the first inning with runners at first and second and one down. Chris Davis, the batter. He'll take strike one.
Now Davis has had very good success against Dubrant. .444 in his career with a home run against Felix.
.269 average overall. The home run, 8 runs batted in. Swinging a foul tip, and it's 0-2.
Dubrant just challenges him that time with a 93-mile-an-hour fastball. Threw it right by him.
Hooks it foul over by the Red Sox dugout. Just getting a piece of that. Stay alive. Markakis at second, Jones at first, and one out. In there for strike 3. Dubrant needed that against Chris Davis. Second strikeout for Dubrant of this first inning.
That first curveball that he featured to the left-hander, and it's a very good one from Dubrant. They've been all fastballs and cutters up to that point, and then the breaking ball for the strikeout. So a strikeout on a changeup, a strikeout on the curveball here in the top of the first.
So 2 down, Markakis at second, Jones at first, and Nelson Cruz the batter. 250 with 2 homers and 9 runs batted in so far. 2 home runs, both against the Red Sox in that first series at Camden Yards. And a ground ball sharply hit by the dive of Herrera into left center field. Markakis being waved around, and the Orioles take a 1-0 lead. A 2-out RBI single for Nelson Cruz has the Orioles on top 1-0.
Now, Cruz has been a major addition to this lineup for the Baltimore Orioles, and a big 2-out base hit. The dive by Herrera, he can't knock it down, and that's going to allow the run to score. Cruz picks up his 10th RBI of the season.
So the Orioles jumping on top here in the first. Runners at first and third. 2 down. Matt Wieters, the batter. Checks in at .333. 3 homers and 10 runs batted in. Wieters 1 for 4 with an RBI here last night as he takes strike 1. Foul it back, 0-2. Well, fans, the Boston Bruins are on their quest for the Cup, and Nesson is still the home for all Bruins playoff coverage. Tomorrow at 2, catch the 1-hour pregame show with unlimited highlights, interviews, and analysis before Game 2 of the Eastern Conference quarterfinals. And make sure you come back to Nesson for the post-game wrap-up. Bruins will be looking to bounce back after a loss in Game 1, as that's a little bit low to Matt Wieters. Wieters, the first player in Orioles history with 3 consecutive years of 20-plus home runs as a catcher. And so far this season, Wieters with 3 home runs, not yet out of April. 1-2 is fouled off the catcher, Ross. Off the front of the knee, it looked like, on that big sweeping curveball from Dubron that's fouled off. Brad Pearson looking on from the Red Sox dugout. Make sure that Ross is all right. 1-2 pitch is foul back. Jones at third, Cruz at first, 2 down and a run in for Baltimore here in the first inning. Swing and a miss. Wieters goes chasing, and Dubron ends up striking out the side. The O's get a run. The Red Sox are coming up. Take a 1-0 advantage as we head to the bottom of the first inning. Let's look at the Red Sox starting 9. Grady Sizemore in the leadoff spot again, making his first major league start in right field with Dustin Pedroia at second base. David Ortiz, the DH, bats third with Mike Napoli at first base. Mike Carp back in there again. He's been hot lately. He's in left. David Ross does the catching, bat 6. Brock Holt in his second game at third base. Jonathan Herrera at shortstop, giving Xander Bogaerts the beginning of the game off. And Jackie Bradley Jr. in center field bats 9th. Take a look at the starting pitcher for the Orioles, presented by Nissan. Here is Bud Norris in his third start of the year, 0-1 with a 3.75 earned run average. Last start against Toronto, 7 innings of shutout pitching for the right-hander, and Norris working to Grady Sizemore to get the bottom of the first inning started. Norris, a 29-year-old veteran. Swinging a foul tip, and it's 0-2.
Fourth career start against the Red Sox. He's 0-1 lifetime with a 4.15 ERA against Boston teams.
Sizemore coming in, hitting at 265 into today's action. 2 homers and 5 runs batted in. Has 7 shutout innings, allowing 5 hits and 4 Ks in his last outing against the Toronto Blue Jays. It was his second start of the year. He started initially at Detroit, 5 innings, but giving up 5 runs and giving up 2 home runs. Dave Wallace, the pitching coach now of the Baltimore Orioles, former Red Sox pitching coach. We had the chance to say hello to him today before the ball game, as Dave's back in town here again with the O's. Under Buck Showalter.
He was doing something today that we were not doing, and that was working out prior to the game.
Yeah. We walked through the gym, but that's about as close as we got to the gym. Swing and a miss, and Sizemore strikes out. Norris with a K to begin his outing.
Now let's look at the Orioles defense. They've been the best in the American League with only 3 errors in 15 games. Jonathan Scope at third base, J.J. Hardy the shortstop, Steve Lombardozzi at second, and Chris Davis the first baseman left to right. Nelson Cruz, Adam Jones, and Nick Markakis. And Matt Wheat is doing the catching for Norris.
One down here in the bottom of the first inning for Dustin Pedroia. .235 average for Dustin to start the day. No homers and 2 runs batted in. Pedroia 1 for 4 in last night's first game of the series. Leading the Red Sox right now in doubles with 4 on the year. Tied for second most hits on the club. He and Xander Bogaerts with 16 so far in the season. David Ortiz on deck with 1 out, and the base is empty here in the first inning.
And Norris with a fastball, a cut fastball, a slider, and a changeup.
2-1 is popped up foul back and out of play.
The fastball, pretty good velocity, 95 on that last fastball to Pedroia. A little bit inside, and Dustin fouls it back and out of play.
Fouled off to the right, out of play. Well, on tomorrow's all-new Ultimate Red Sox show presented by AAA, take a look back on the anniversary of the Marathon tragedy with the Watertown Police, and John Farrell talks with TC on the field at Fenway Park. Catch all that and more on the Ultimate Red Sox show, hosted by Tom Caron, tomorrow at 4 o'clock. Full count now to Pedroia, 3-2. Little check swing foul right at the plate, and hangs at 3-2.
That fastball that time a little bit inside, and Pedroia caught in between, taking it and swinging at it, and fortunately fouls it off.
9 at bats against Bud Norris, 5 walks for Pedroia. He's got a full count here with 1 out. And he'll walk again down to first base. A 1-out walk for Pedroia. Red Sox have their first base runner of the day. Here comes David Ortiz. Red Sox DH at .222, 2 homers and 8 runs batted in. David had last night off in game 1 of the series, right back in there today. Shift on here for the Orioles on the right side. They'll keep it tight to the infield. The double play implications with the runner at first and 1 out. Big swing and a miss for Ortiz.
Yeah, starts him with a changeup. Has David off balance on that first pitch. Changeup at about 86 miles an hour.
Fouled back and out of play. Down 0-2. David needs 1 home run to tie Juan Gonzalez, Andrea Jones, and Paul Konerko at 434 home runs for 42nd place on the all-time home run list. Mike Napoli on deck here in the first inning. Ortiz to left field. Nelson Cruz going back, and he'll play it off the wall. Pedroia heads for third. Throw goes to second. Ortiz got to throw the brakes on and get back to first. Long single off the wall and left. And the Red Sox have runners at first and third.
Well, the advantage for David Ortiz of being back at Fenway Park. You get that fastball away, you just take it to the opposite field and use that left field wall as your friend. Ball hit very well by Ortiz, hard off the wall, about halfway up the wall. He has to hold up at first base as the throw comes back in the second. It's a little first and third action for the Red Sox with one out.
So at the corners with one down, and Mike Napoli the batter. 295, 3 homers, and 9 runs batted in. Napoli takes ball 1, knocked down by Wieters, kind of kicked it up the third baseline. Napoli 1 for 5 here last night, had a double, scored a run. Pedroia at third, Ortiz across the diamond at first. High for ball 2. Blowing hard from left to right across the outfield. Napoli chops one to deep third base. Scope with a bobble, and everybody's going to be safe, and the game is tied. Pedroia gets in as Scope at deep third was getting himself ready for the throw, and he drops the baseball. And the Red Sox tie it up 1-1.
Good break, big break for the Red Sox right there, because that could have been a double play with Napoli running down the line. There's Scope as he gets the big high bounce, and it just drops out of his glove. It's like he's looking towards second base before looking the ball into his glove. Pedroia scores, everybody's safe. It would have been tough turning the double play over, but they certainly would have had the force at second base.
They're charged to Jonathan Scope down there at third base. First and second, 1 out, a run in. And Mike Karp the batter. There's a ground ball towards shortstop. This could be 2 to second for 1. On to first it is. 6-4-3 on the twin killing that ends the inning. Red Sox tie the game. We're back to check out the poll right after this.
Question, it's a doozy. Which is the most impressive MLB streak? Sox 1 for Joe DiMaggio's 56-game hit streak. Sox 2 for Eric Gagne's 84 straight saves. Sox 3, Oral Hershiser 59 straight scoreless innings pitched. Or Sox for the Iron Man, Cal Ripken's 2,632 straight games played. Text your answer to 536-536. Message and data rates may apply. Text help if you need it, and visit NESN.com/terms for the legal stuff.
I'm going Ripken here. I'm going Sox 4.
Yeah, that's a very, very tough one right there. This impressive streaks in DiMaggio's 56-game hitting streak. Nobody's come close to that, right?
No.
You know, within anywhere near striking distance. But I think I agree with you. I think the game's played. I don't think you'll ever see that again.
Well, DeBron upset with that first pitch. J.J. Hardy leading it off here for the Orioles. Hardy, Scope, and Lombardozzi to bat in the inning. It's ground ball out towards Pedroia at second base. Throws out J.J. Hardy for the first out of the second inning. Jerry's a guy who played in Major League Baseball. Can you imagine playing in 2,632 consecutive games?
And he did a lot of that as a shortstop, too. You know, right in the middle of double plays. And you think that somewhere along the line you get spiked. You'd have to be out for a couple of days, you know, with some stitches or something. It's amazing.
There were times it appeared that managers wanted to give him some time off.
I think it became very difficult to manage after a while, because there should have been times he probably should not have been playing.
Scope with a swing and a miss. Big night here last night for Scope, third baseman for the O's.
That DiMaggio streak, too, of 56 games. I mean, when people get to 30 games now, they start following him every day.
Right. No, we just saw Alexei Ramirez, who had a 15-game hitting streak.
Yeah, he's not even close.
That was in the neighborhood. That was the league's longest streak at the time. A little bit high, apparently. 2-2.
There's another one on there that was not on the list. That Nolan Ryan's no hitters.
Is it 7?
I don't think that. I'm not sure that'll ever be broke.
Rolled over foul, still 2-2. Scope bats now. Lombardozzi waiting on deck. Scope 4 for 5 in the ball game last night. As he takes strike 3. It's a 4th strikeout for Felix Dubron here in the early going. 2 down in the second inning.
And Dubron goes with that fastball, pinpoint control of the outside part of the plate to pick up the strikeout. So a strikeout on a changeup, a strikeout on a curveball, another changeup, and that time the fastball.
2 down in the second inning. Steve Lombardozzi standing in, second baseman for the O's. He'll take strike 1 over the inside corner. 308 average to begin the year. No homers, 2 runs batted in. The second generation major leaguer. Couple of hits here last night, going 2 for 5. Scored a run. Chop left side, and on the half hop, Holt on the run, fires to first base for the out that ends the inning. A nice 1-2-3 inning for Felix Dubron. Game tied 1-1 from Fenway. donations to the Red Sox Foundation, which gives generously to the Jimmy Fund. We thank Hood for helping us stand up to cancer. Let's strike it out now. Last half of the second inning back at Fenway Park. Game tied 1-1. David Ross getting the start today. Behind the dish for Boston, Ross, Holt, and Herrera to bat here in the bottom of the second inning. But Norris back on the mound for Baltimore. David Ross at 267 to start the day. Of course, he had a go-ahead RBI double in the ninth inning Thursday at Chicago. His sixth career go-ahead RBI in the ninth inning or later. He's now hit safely in 4 of his 5 starts on the year. So the swing and a foul tip. Down 1-2. Swing and a miss, and Ross strikes out. Second strikeout for Bud Norris of the day.
Now Norris has got a good fastball. We mentioned he's been consistently at 95 with it and just throws that fastball right by David Ross to pick up his second strikeout. His first came on a changeup to Sizemore. That time the fastball to Ross.
One down in the second inning. Brock Holt, in his return to the major leagues, appeared here last night. Went 2 for 4 in his first game back. Made a good defensive play and back in there again today. Yes, he takes strike 1.
Nice play to end last inning as he gets that in-between hop right there. You kind of wave at it and hope that it ends up in your glove, and once it does, throw to first base to get the out.
Holt's numbers with the Paw Sox this year, hitting at 380 at the time of his recall. Home run, 3 runs batted in. And a swing and a miss on a pitch down and in. Back-to-back strikeouts for Norris. 3 Ks in the game for the right-hander.
You mentioned Norris coming off a very strong game last time out against the Toronto Blue Jays, and in that game he had 4 strikeouts. He's already got 3 in this game this afternoon.
2 down in the second inning for Jonathan Herrera. Herrera at shortstop today with Xander Bogaerts on the bench to begin the game. 240 average for Herrera. No homers and 3 runs batted in. That's a pop-up. Out goes the shortstop J.J. Hardy, calling and catching the final out of the second inning. Through 2, game tied 1-1. We'll check out the Wally Wave when we come back. getting single runs in the first inning. Game tied 1-1, and the top of the Orioles order: Nick Markakis, Delman Young, and Adam Jones here in the third inning. Markakis has one of two Baltimore hits off Felix Doubront. Doubront with 4 strikeouts through the first 2 innings. Felix making his 4th start of the year today, coming in with a record of 1-2. Falls behind 2-1 to Markakis. Been doing a good job of setting the table for the Orioles, leading off on a daily basis. Led off with a single in the first, stole second before coming around to score. And a foul off to the left and out of play. Delman Young and then Adam Jones here in the third inning. Markakis strikes out. Strikeout number 5 for Felix Doubront today. Well, Jerry, last night we got our first look at the Wally wave, and today was day 2, and I think it's even better today.
It's picking up steam. You can see the kids getting into it. I noticed some adults above getting into it, so I envision, before the season's over, that you're going to have 36,000 people doing the Wally wave.
I mean, it is taking off out there. Yesterday.
Just in one day.
One day. We had a small group out there last night. Now today, I think they doubled in size.
Yeah, and I can see you wanting to move too. So
I'm starting to feel it.
Yeah.
Delman Young takes a pitch outside and low. Slow grounder left side. Holt on the run and in time. Good running play from Brock Holt. 2 down.
A couple of nice plays down at third base today by Brock Holt. Made a few last night, again this afternoon. Pretty similar play as the last one, except the ball bounces a little bit higher and gives him a little bit easier opportunity to make that play at first base. But a good hard charge put on by Holt.
Two outs here in the third inning for Adam Jones. Swinging at the first pitch. It's a high fly ball to right field. Sizemore to the corner. Sizemore will make the catch and bang into the wall. First game at Fenway's right field for Grady Sizemore makes the grab. comes to office supply delivery, WB Mason's same-day service can't be thrown out. Call by 11:30 and your order is delivered that same afternoon. Who but WB Mason? Bottom of the third inning back at Fenway Park. Game tied 1-1. Jackie Bradley Jr. on his birthday leads it off here in the inning. His 24th birthday today for Jackie. And he swings away and pops it up. Foul ground. Scope makes the catch right around the third base coach's box for the first out of the third inning. One pitch and one out here in the third inning for Bud Norris. Here comes Grady Sizemore. Check out some of his interests. Gladiator Pizza. Likes to relax and watch movies. Bora Bora, that's been popular so far. I've had a few of those. Likes to travel. It's amazing how many guys don't like to travel. You know, you figure you travel all year long in a baseball season. When the season's over, a lot of guys don't like going.
Yeah, they like to take some time off, but then get away to places that they haven't been. You know, like where you've. Think of these players. I mean, they've been in the same cities over and over and over again since they've been in professional baseball.
What is going on in the dugout there? Did you get a chance to see that a second ago?
Looked like a head massage.
This team is very close. Reminds me of some years ago with Manny Ramirez.
I was thinking the same.
Julian Tavares.
Yeah.
This is in the air foul off to the left out of play.
That was almost right, not prime for TV.
Yes, that was. Let's stack it up in the infield here in a shift on Sizemore. Some teams do, some teams don't. Baltimore does. 0-2 is up high for a ball. 1-2. Sports can bring you to the edge of your seat and to your feet. It should always bring you to NESN.com, the region's #1 sports site, with comprehensive Red Sox coverage and the most Bruins content in New England. Get live blogs, video, and podcasts found only on NESN.com. One out in the third inning. 5 in a row retired by Bud Norris. And Sizemore sends it foul up to the top deck off to the left. Fouls it off himself and will do it again. 1-2. Bud Norris began his major league career with Houston. 6th round pick of the Astros in 2006. This one fouled off. Still 1-2.
That play that Sizemore made to win last inning off Adam Jones, a pretty good play. This guy's been moving around all over the place. Left field, center field, right field. Both left field and right field not very easy to play here at Fenway Park.
'40th pitch for Norris misses down and in. A look at the catch last inning from Sizemore.
Yeah, that ball slicing away from him. Plus the wind's got a hold of it, and Sizemore going right to the wall, banging his ribs into the wall, but able to make the catch.
Well, 10 pitch at bat here so far for Grady Sizemore against Bud Norris, making him work. Sizemore now, Pedroia next. Red Sox batting here in the third inning. Well, a fly ball hit out towards left field. Wind will knock it down a tad, and Nelson Cruz actually has to come in now to make the catch. 2 down. Six in a row retired by Norris. An 11 pitch at bat there for Sizemore. 2 down. Dustin Pedroia walked and scored in the first inning. Came around to score on an error by Jonathan Scope down at third base. In there for strike 1. A little bit low, apparently. 1-1. Foul it off to the right, out of play. Season series tied at 2 games apiece so far between the Red Sox and Orioles. Boston taking 2 out of 3 from the Orioles at Camden Yards in first series of the season. And Baltimore and Buck Showalter taking game 1 of this 4-game series last night. Swing and a miss, and Pedroia is down on strikes. 4 strikeouts for Bud Norris. Game tied 1-1. Jerry will get you a new view when we come back. House cleaning courtesy of MaidPro. Free checking and a dust-free home. Another neat idea from Eastern Bank. We're here, you're first. Details at easternbank.com/clean. Jerry, this is not my view, but it is Quincy Market. And nicely done, obviously, by a professional camera person making their way through Quincy Market. Game tied 1-1 here in the top half of the 4th inning. Chris Davis leading it off for the O's. And there's strike 1 over the outside corner.
I took a view between innings, but I can't send it to our producer.
You don't have an email on there? You don't?
No.
Davis struck out looking in the first inning, 0 for 1. And sends this up over the shift. Sizemore coming in to make the catch on the sinking liner. Well, it's time, Jerry, for today's view. And today I decided to walk out to the truck, and I go there pretty much every day and like to spend some time out there. This is not me on the phone. This is somebody walking in front of me, but headed out there to the truck. Went by the bathrooms there, and then there it is in the back. The Nesson truck. That's where it all happens. So Michael Narachi, Kevin Cedergren, Jim Dodonna, they all live in there pretty much.
It's quite a distance from home plate, too.
It is. I go out there about twice, 3 times a day on an average day. Spend a lot of time with the guys in the tape room and audio. Check in with everybody. This one fouled off to the right, out of play. Make sure everybody's doing well in video. I mean, you have to see these people every day just to remind them, how important they are, what they do for us.
There's people in that truck that if you walked in, they wouldn't even know who you are.
The 1-1 is down low.
How do I delete the...
You should keep the video and then get an email and send it someday. Cruz hits it on the ground to short. Herrera steps to his right. There are 2 down here in the 4th inning.
Dubron certainly has settled down since the first inning when he threw a lot of pitches. But right now in a pretty good groove. A couple of quick outs here in the 4th inning.
Still got the window closed here at Fenway Park. We're not to the point yet to fire it open.
It's a nice day. It's warm, but the breeze.
It's the wind.
It really hurts up here behind home plate. So
it affects the moss and the papers flying all over the place. Those are the 2 key issues. I don't know which order they're in.
It is annoying to be picking the papers up off the floor all game long.
Mm-hmm. Maybe sometime in June we can open the window. Now there are other people who choose not to close their windows. Gary Thorne, who is from Maine, and Joe, who's from here. And then there's us. But you know what? We are warm and they are not.
They're not.
That's, it's not our problem that they want to sit there and be cold and have wind blow their moss all over the place and their papers all over the booth. That's not our issue. I mean, Jim's very uncomfortable. He's dealing with it only because he has to work with Gary.
Look at that big heavy coat.
Jim Hunter has great moss, doesn't have to worry about it flying around, doesn't care. And there's us. Over here. We're perfectly comfortable. One the score. Our warm booth popped up. Foul off to the right, out of play.
My first partner, Ned Martin, refused to close windows.
Really?
In the booth. And I got to tell you, there were some days in April that would, I leave this ballpark frozen. Couldn't feel your feet, your hands, anything.
Nine in a row retired by Felix Dubron with 2 outs here in the 4th inning. And there's strike 3. Dubron, he's got it going on today. That is 6 strikeouts for Felix Dubron. Game tied 1-1. runner rally cards available at select Dunkin' Donuts locations along the Marathon route and in this Sunday's Boston Globe. And we head to the bottom of the fourth inning, the Union Oyster House. Jerry, have you eaten there before?
No, I have not.
Terrific. Especially the oysters sit right there at the raw bar. Nothing better.
Oh, you like oysters?
I love oysters.
Went out to dinner in New York last Saturday, as a matter of fact.
David Ortiz leading it off in the bottom of the fourth inning, in there for strike one.
You had oysters, I had clams casino. The problem with my clams casino, there were no clams.
No clams. We looked for them.
They were fried, supposed to be fried clams casino, and there were no clams. It was just like fried.
At one point we thought maybe they were in the dip part. So we looked in there and there was still no clams.
There was nothing in there.
No clams in your clams casino.
And it was a very expensive
clams casino minus the clams, yes. That's a good idea. Next time we'll have to do Don's View video. We can show.
It was the rest of the meal was excellent, but I couldn't quite understand the appetizer.
I actually doubled up on my appetizer.
Yeah, you did. You went for what?
Dozen oysters.
Dozen total.
50th pitch for Bud Norris, and it's up and away to Big Papi. Ahead here, 3-1. Norris has retired 7 Red Sox in a row. Only hit for Boston today belongs to David Ortiz. A single in the first. Swing and a miss, and a pitch down and in. 93 and kind of biting down and in.
And Norris has good stuff. We mentioned that velocity on the fastball, down and in. That's usually a good spot for a left-handed hitter, but a little overpowering that time was Norris.
Ortiz turns on this down the right field line. It is going to be a fair ball and gone. Home run. Third home run of the year for David Ortiz, and the Red Sox take a 2-1 lead.
Well, Norris threw the first fastball by him, tried to throw a second fastball by him, and that just didn't work. That one came up about 6 inches, a little bit higher, and Ortiz with the line drive around the pole in right field.
That appeared to be a mislocation, too. They wanted that ball away. Ends up that David gets that out over the plate and takes it out of the yard as Mike Napoli takes strike one. Napoli fouls it off to the right out of play. So Ortiz now ties Juan Gonzalez, Andrew Jones, and Paul Konerko. 434 home runs and 42nd place on the all-time home run list. Ties Napoli for the most in the team now, both with 3. Napoli hits it on the ground, back up the middle into center field. A base hit for Mike Napoli. First hit for someone other than David Ortiz today. We'll cheer on our marathon runners with free runner rally cards available at select Dunkin' Donuts locations along the marathon route, and it's in this Sunday's Boston Globe. Napoli at first base. Nobody out here in the fourth inning. Mike Karp into a 6-4-3 double play his first time up, 0 for 1. Snapped over to first, and Napoli diving back safely. High throw from Wieters as Davis had to go up into the air to retrieve it.
And diving back in by Napoli at first base with the finger problem. Wieters with a nice backhanded play, throwing behind the left-handed hitter, and there's that dive back to the bag. It's the right hand that gets the bag this time. Of course, the left hand has that glove on it.
Inside to Carp. And it's 2-0. On the ground at second base. Could be 2 to second for 1. On to first. It is 2. Second time today. Mike Carp has bounced into a twin killing. And there are 2 outs in the 4th inning.
Yeah, 6-4-3 back in the 1st inning. 4-6-3 here in the 4th. Ball hit pretty well by Carp, but they positioned perfectly in double play situation. The big high bounce. Underhand feed and an easy double play there for the Orioles.
2 down here in the 4th inning. David Ross, the batter. Struck out swinging in the 2nd inning. 4 strikeouts for Bud Norris today. Fastball by him, and it's a ball and a strike. David Ortiz breaking the 1-1 tie here to lead off the 4th inning with a home run to right field. His 3rd home run of the year, and Boston has a 2-1 lead. Well pitched ball game to this point by both starters. Felix Doubront has now retired the last 10 Orioles in a row, and he's got 6 Ks through the first 4 innings today. Norris taking a little stroll in behind the mound in the midst of a meeting with himself.
And David Ross had stepped out on him, and Norris decided to take a little walk in the park.
I think he was in a meeting with himself. 2-1. This is a swing and a miss. 2-2.
When did you pick that one up anyway?
I started in the minor leagues, and I forget about it sometimes. But as soon as somebody gets me on that mound, he is definitely in the midst of a meeting with himself. 2-2 is popped up. Foul ground as Davis steps in, shading his eyes from the sun. Will make the catch. It ends the inning. The home run for David Ortiz, his 3rd of the year, has put Boston on top 2-1.
Brock Holt was saying that he wasn't necessarily too comfortable yet at the third base position, but that play he made last night blew up the Twitter sphere, and he has a whole bunch of text messages from his friends to prove him wrong and prove otherwise, that he's holding down the hot corner. And then already today, early in the game, 2 impressive stabs. One right there and the other one coming up right here. He was telling me that him and Herrera are kind of going back and forth as far as where on the field they play and what plays come to them. And clearly, guys, he's taking the heat on that one and making it happen.
Yeah, so far, so good here for Brock Holt at third base, and Jonathan Herrera, who's at shortstop, left side of the infield for the Red Sox today, is J.J. Hardy. Leads it off and hits one high in the air and foul down the left field line. Hardy grounded out to second base in the second inning, 0 for 1. DeBron starting this 5th inning, having retired the last 10 batters in a row, and 6 by way of the K. Swing and a miss, make it 7. Hardy strikes out for the first out of the 5th inning.
Very good curveball here by DuBrant. So back-to-back strikeouts, a fastball to end last inning against Wieters, and there's the curveball to J.J. Hardy for the strikeout. DuBrant working at a little quicker pace. Of course, with nobody on base, he generally does that.
One down, Jonathan Schoop, the batter. And Schoop will pop it up left side of the infield. Herrera shading his eyes. Now it's Holt. And Brock Holt makes the catch. His tracks down there on the dirt, 2 down. Steve Lombardozzi coming up here for the O's, batting out of the number 9 spot. Grounded out to third base in the second inning, 0 for 1. Red Sox, as far as their pitching staff, as far as walking people, have been very good this year. Red Sox pitchers have allowed 2 walks or fewer in an AL high 10 games so far this season. And so far in this game, DeBron has walked only 1 through 4 2/3. This is headed towards the gap in left center field, but Jackie Bradley Jr. gets over there and cuts it off to make the catch on the run. 13 in a row retired by Felix DeBron. It's 2-1 Red Sox. Thanks for building projects across the Northeast. Wow, bet you didn't know FWWeb did that. For more on this proud sponsor of the Boston Red Sox, visit fwweb.com. Last half of the 5th inning, 2-1. Red Sox on top of the Orioles. Teams combining for 5 hits in the game as Brock Holt leads it off here in the home half of the 5th. Holt struck out swinging in the 2nd inning, 0 for 1. Bud Norris with 4 strikeouts today. Orioles right-hander. No, bounce in for ball 1, 1-1. The Red Sox have 3 hits, 2 for David Ortiz, a single and the home run that broke the 1-1 tie in the 4th inning. Mike Napoli followed it up with a single to center field. That's been it. Ground ball right side. Chris Davis will need the pitcher Norris, and he's there for the out. 1 down here in the bottom of the 5th. One out here in the 5th inning for Jonathan Herrera. Popped out to the shortstop J.J. Hardy in the 2nd inning. In on the grass at 3rd is Jonathan Scope, in case Herrera entertains any thoughts of bunting. Swings away, and it's a fly ball to left field. Nelson Cruz in a step or 2. 2 down. I think they would have looked into that a little bit deeper.
Yeah.
You know?
I got a pop-up fact.
What do you got?
How come every time I invite you to go out to eat,
Yes.
you know, you come, and then on nights where you go out to eat, you never invite me?
That's not true.
It is true.
No,
It happened on this last trip.
It happened on the last trip because you eat at 5:30.
No, that's not true.
And nobody else eats at 5:30. Most people eat at like 7 o'clock on the road. And when you texted me and you said, "Are you going to eat?" I said, at the time, because we got in at 5 in the morning in Chicago, I was eating lunch when you were asking me if I was going to dinner. Remember, I was at the barbecue place?
Yeah.
And so you were headed to dinner.
No, not then. No.
So
Well, you could have
there was no point
responded
to
that I'm
invite
going
you.
later.
Why? Well, that's what I said. I said I'm actually
you
just
did not
eating
even-
lunch right now, Jerry, and it's 4 o'clock.
There was no response about what time you and Michael Narachi were having dinner. And I always invite everybody to dinner.
That's not really a pop-up fact, I would say. That's more.
Well, it was more
A
interesting
grievance,
than
I
the one
think.
that was on there.
You have a good point. This is a swing and a miss, and Jackie Bradley Jr. strikes out to end the inning. That is 5 strikeouts for Norris. Down in order go the Sox. Will donate $50 to the Clada Fund, the charitable foundation of the Dropkick Murphys, Echo Store, and the Clada Fund, working together to raise funds to fight for children, support veterans, and help those battling alcohol and substance abuse. To learn more, log on to Echo Store Technologies, your data center solutions provider. Sixth inning with the Red Sox on top 2-1. And Nick Markakis leading it off here for the O's. 1 for 2 today. Singled, stole a base, and scored a run in the first inning. Struck out in the third. This is lined into left center field, a base hit. Jackie Bradley Jr. will play it and get it back in. Breaks up a string of 13 in a row retired by Felix Dubron.
Yeah, nice job, too, by Markakis, keeping that front shoulder on the breaking ball that time from Dubron. 2 for 3 this afternoon. Line drive here on the curveball, and Markakis on for the second time today.
So lead runner on here for Baltimore for the second time today. And Delman Young now bats. Inside out swing, fouled off to the right, out of play. The pitching line for Felix Dubron brought to you by Ace Ticket. 5+ innings, 3 hits, a 1 run. That came back in the first inning. Walk and 7 strikeouts for Dubron. Season high for him in strikeouts had been 4, and that was against Baltimore in his first outing at Camden Yards. Young lays off and jumps ahead 2-1. First time Dubron has worked from the stretch since the first inning. Young will get it back to Dubron. He'll go to second for 1, to first, and it is not. Yes, it is. It is in time, and they turn the double play. It didn't look like it was going to be, but it works out. They're able to turn it from 1 to 6 to 3 on the double play, 2 down.
Yeah, beautiful turn by Jonathan Herrera, the shortstop on this. Dubron takes his time to make sure he gets that 1 out at second base, and then it's up to Jonathan Herrera. As you can see, he jumps out of the way of Markakis, the runner, and is still able to make a good throw to first base to get the double play. Very close play at first, but this is a great angle right here. You can see him make the throw and then have to jump over Markakis to complete that double play. Good feed by Dubron. Well executed by the Red Sox.
1-2 down here in the 6th inning.
As Markakis coming into second base. Good, clean, hard slide.
Jones shortens up. It takes strike 1. So Dubron giving up a leadoff base hit, but quickly erases that. The 1-6-3 double play, 2 down. Jones today has walked and flied out to the warning track in right field. Swing and a miss, and it's 0-2.
Well, movement on that fastball from Dubron. It was down, and it's kind of tailed away from the right-handed hitter Adam Jones.
Inside for ball, 1-2.
Tries to go inside with the curveball, just missing the inside corner.
Line to left, and this will quickly one-hop the wall. Carp over to play it as Jones heads for second base. He'll get there without a problem standing, and a 2-out double.
Well, he tries back-to-back curveballs. The second one just lays kind of flat out over the plate, and Adam Jones jumps on it for the double. Topspin line drive down that left field line. A little bobble out there by Carp, but it didn't make any difference. It was going to be 2 bases anyway. So Adam Jones in scoring position in this one-run game.
Chris Davis 0 for 2. Struck out looking in the first inning, lined out to right in the 4th inning. Framed by Ross, but it's outside. Shift here on the right side for the Red Sox against Davis. Runner taken off for third. The throw from Ross is going to be not in time, and Jones steals third base. Now the tying run 90 feet away with 2 down.
Don't see that very often, but you will see it at Fenway Park quite often, because on any base hit to left field, you know, it becomes harder to score from second base. So if you can get third, take it. That might be a little too close, though. Wow. You know, it's almost like you got to be standing up with 2 outs when you steal third base.
Look out, and Davis gets hit in a pitch inside. So Davis down to first base now with 2 outs in the inning.
Nowhere for Davis to go on this pitch from Dubron. Goes inside with the fastball and gets him right off the tricep.
Wanda Yevis coming out to talk to DeBront. The rest of the infield will join the conversation. The Beth Israel Deaconess Medical Center, the official hospital of the Boston Red Sox, never forgets that before you're a patient, you're a person. Beth Israel Deaconess, human first. Learn more at bidmc.org/human first. Now DeBront was rolling right along. He had retired 13 batters in a row prior to the Markakis single that began the inning, but then he got Delman Young to ground into a double play, but a double, a stolen base, and a hit batter later. And the Orioles have runners at first and third with 2 down in this one-run contest, and chance for Nelson Cruz to do more damage. He's already driven in the Orioles' only run today. Did that back in the first inning with a single. Down and in for ball 1. Swing and a miss up over the top, 1-1.
Good change up that time by Dubron. He's had a good change in this game this afternoon. Cruz sitting all over fastball that time. Instead, he gets the off-speed pitch.
AJ Brzezinski with the day off looking on here with Adam Jones at third base. Chris Davis at first, 2 down. Cruz fouls it off, and it's 2-2. Well, today's Cold Hard Facts are brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light. Since the start of the 2011 season, the Orioles have 34 wins against the Red Sox, the most by an AL East opponent. One here last night. 2-2 pitch. And a ground ball that is a foul ball down the third base line. Very close, but foul.
Get a good angle from this camera shot, and you can see clearly in foul territory is that ground ball. The dive by Holt down there just in case, but that ball well by him.
Paul Schreiber working the third base line today. And a chance here for Nelson Cruz with 2 outs in the inning. Runner goes at first. There's a ground ball deep third. Holt's got a plan and throw, and the throw will be in time. What a play at first base, as that turns out a big stretch, but we'll see.
We might have a challenge here.
See if the Orioles challenge this. Buck Showalter coming out. And we will see what he wants to do. Ted Barrett, the crew chief, will meet him at the pitcher's mound, basically. And the call at first base was Nelson Cruz was out. And waiting to see what the Orioles are going to do here, what Buck Showalter is going to do. He has not gotten the word yet from the dugout. He's peering in there. And now he will challenge it.
From up here, it looked like he was safe, Don. Now, we'll take a look on replay. There's the one bounce to first base. Ooh. This one may go in the Orioles' way. It's a very nice play by Holt. One hop on the grass, but very close at first base. And that's a big replay because it could mean a run.
And it could mean this game is tied. Again, is it conclusive enough to overturn?
From that angle there, it looks like a dead tie, doesn't it?
It does. He's safe now, and the game is tied. So they have overturned the call, and this game is tied after the review. First challenge Buck Showalter's had on the year, and he wins it.
So Cruz having himself a 2-for-3 day with 2 RBIs. Now Showalter's going to say, shouldn't the runner at second have be able to go to third base? Ball down the line, and you can see one more time the throw. Now the runner at second base clearly would have made third base, and that's what Showalter was questioning the umpire about, but they're going to leave him at second.
So that'll go as a hit and an RBI, and it is now 2-2. Yeah, placement of runners is a big part of this, too.
Yeah.
Wieters 0 for 2 in the game. He has struck out twice and taps it foul off the end of the bat. NESN is looking for youth baseball and softball teams to be a live studio audience for our Red Sox pregame show on select Sunday road games. NESN Clubhouse, where kids run the show. Visit NESN.com/clubhouse sweepstakes to enter your son or daughter's team. The experience includes a pizza party before and once in a lifetime opportunity to be an active part of the studio audience. Wieters hits a ground ball to third base, and Holt kind of kicks it out towards short. Herrera's throw is not going to be in time. He double pumped. If he gets rid of it right away, they probably get Wieters, who does not run well. But a one-hop Snapley can't pick it. The bases are loaded.
Yeah, he still had an opportunity, that's for sure, to get Wieters at first base had he come up clean with it. There's the ball bouncing off of Holt, and here comes Herrera. He bobbles it in his hand, and that makes that one-hop throw to first base. If he's able to come clean with it in his hand and make a good throw, they've got Wieters at first base. But the inning continues.
Error charge to Holt at third base. Bases loaded, 2 down. And J.J. Hardy, the batter. Hardy takes ball 1. He's grounded out to second and struck out swinging today, 0 for 2. This will be the 90th pitch of the day for DeBron. And Hardy takes it for strike one. Davis at third, Cruz at second, Wieters at first. A run in for Baltimore. Fly ball out towards left center field. Jackie Bradley Jr. headed back. Makes the catch right in front of the warning track to end the inning. But the Orioles tie the game at 2 at the end of 5.5. We'll check out the list when we come back. Ortiz turns on this down the right field line. It is going to be a fair ball and gone. Third home run of the year for David Ortiz, and the Red Sox take a 2-1 lead. Well, the Orioles have come back with a run at the top of the 6th inning, tied the score 2-2. Bud Norris back to work here for Baltimore. Grady Sizemore, the top of the Red Sox order, leading it off in the bottom of the 6th inning. 0 for 2 so far today. Sizemore struck out swinging in the first inning. Fly to left in the third as he takes a pitch up high. Norris has 5 strikeouts today. He's walked a batter and given up 3 hits, 2 runs. Fly ball struck well to left field, but the wind's going to knock it down. Cruz shy of the track makes the catch. It's now 6 in a row retired by Bud Norris. Well, here's our list for the day. Top all-time third baseman: Nick Boggs, George Brett, Brooks Robinson, Mike Schmidt.
Well, some tough ones on there, huh? The lists have been very difficult to pick.
Yes.
They really have.
If you'd like to check in with us, hashtag Nesson List with your pick for the all-time best third baseman.
I didn't play against Mike Schmidt. I did play against Brooks Robinson.
Right center field. This will get down, and cutting it off is Jones. His throw to second base will be late, and Pedroia's got himself a 1-out double.
Well, Pedroia finding that gap between right and center field for the 2-base hit. Red Sox trying to get a run back of their own here in the bottom of the 6th. Pedroia with a walk, a strikeout, now the double so far in the game today. Head first slide into second base, even with that bad wrist.
One down, Pedroia in scoring position here in the 6th inning. Red Sox trying to answer the Orioles' run. In the top half of the inning, here's David Ortiz, 2 for 2 today. Single in the 1st, a home run in the 4th inning. Solo shot, 3rd home run of the year. Not a full shift on here for David. And a swing and a miss, because after the fastball, it was down and away at 94. On the ground, foul. And Norris jumps ahead here, 0-2. Well, enjoy the rich taste of Farmhouse Blend coffee from Cumberland Farms. It's made from 100% Arabica coffee for the perfect balance of aroma, body, and taste. Stop in today for a cup of do-it-yourself coffee perfection for only 99 cents, any size. One down, Dustin Pedroia at second base. Buck Showalter's Orioles just tied the score, and the Red Sox now trying to push across the go-ahead run. Up high, able to hold off, 1-2. Orioles trying to get their 4th straight win today. Down and in, and it is 2-2. Since September of 2011, the Orioles have done very well here at Fenway Park. They are 15-6 since September of 2011 at Fenway. I've been 0-2, now it's 3-2. 200 games now for David Ortiz against the O's. 40 home runs against Baltimore. Joy at second base, 1 out here in the 6th inning. The payoff pitch. And Ortiz lifts it in the air to center field. Adam Jones is underneath it. Makes the catch for the 2nd out. No advance for Pedroia, 2 down. I want to remind you to catch the Red Sox report on Tuesday at 5:30. See the behind-the-scenes planning and lead up to the 2013 World Series ring presentation and the 2014 home opener. From the creation of the rings in Montreal to the ceremony rehearsals at Fenway and even a trip to the White House. Don't miss the Red Sox report. Opening day on Tuesday at 5:30 and Wednesday at 2:30. 2 down here in the 6th inning. Dustin Pedroia at second base and Mike Napoli climbing in the box. Napoli has reached on an error and single. Strike over the inside corner, and it's 1-1. Red Sox have been lacking that big hit in clutch situations, and I'd like to deliver Pedroia right here with 2 outs in the 6th inning.
Been a long time, it seems, since the Red Sox have had a comfortable lead in the game.
Called a ball, 2-1. Rolling away. Norris falling behind 3-1. Only one pitch inside so far here for Napoli. Everything else has been away. Mike Carp waits on deck. Napoli fouls it back. Full count now as Pedroia goes back to the bag at second.
Now that fastball for Norris has remained consistent, still about 95 miles an hour. Got it in on Napoli that time, but Napoli able to foul it back.
The payoff pitch. Napoli fouls it off again.
Fouls off another tough pitch right there. Cut fastball that time inside. And Napoli somehow able to make contact to give himself another chance.
Napoli pops it up, foul ground this time. Davis coming over, but the wind will give it a push and out of play. Initially it looked like Wieters or Davis may have a chance to make that play, but the wind just kept pushing it away, fortunately for Napoli.
Yep, got up in that strong breeze and pushed it about 10 rows back in the box seat area.
So we'll do it again here. 3-2, 2 outs in the bottom of the 6th inning. Go ahead run in scoring position, and Pedroia at second base. Pedroia takes off as Napoli pops it up, foul ground. Davis headed over and won't have a play again as he climbs the tarp.
Now that's one that definitely the wind had an effect on, because I was only a few rows back and you could see it from our level. Once it got up above the stands, the wind just pushed it into foul territory.
Napoli strikes out.
Side.
Well, he strikes out, throws the equipment as the Red Sox are done in the 6th inning. Game tied 2-2.
Foxwoods.com or call 1-800-200-2882. Foxwoods is the official sponsor of the Boston Red Sox.
2-2 the score as we head to the 7th inning, and Jonathan Schoop leads it off as he takes strike one from Felix Dubron. Schoop 0 for 2 today, has struck out and popped out 2 at bats against Dubron. 93rd pitch, and it's a ground ball left side. Holt at third base throws out Schoop for the first out of the inning.
I can understand Napoli being upset. This pitch was inside to him and it was called strike 3. See on the Amica pitch zone, this 9th pitch of the at bat. And that is very frustrating. You put up a 8 pitch at bat and you get called out on a pitch like that.
One down here in the 7th inning. Steve Lombardozzi. It's a ground ball foul outside to third. Red Sox with action in the pen. Shinichi Tozawa now warming. Lombardozzi fouls it off again outside of third. 0-2. In the dirt, kicks off Ross and evens at 2-2. 7 strikeouts today for Felix Dubron. He has walked just 1. That was back in the 1st inning. Juan Nieves on the phone with the pen. Lombardozzi did not go, says Ted Barrett, first base umpire. Full count now. Kind of a late punch at it there, but he didn't go. Popped up. Napoli battling the sun. Makes the catch with the feet on the dirt for out number 2 of the inning. It's time for a Toyota game break and Tom Caron. TC. All right, Tom, thanks very much. They're getting Jose Reyes back as well. The Toronto Blue Jays been without him for a little while again. Better start to this season for them, as that is pitch number 100 for Felix Dubron.
That's Toronto going into today 9-8. 1 game out of first place behind the Yankees.
Tap foul, and Dubron jumps ahead here. Markakis 0-2. Two hits today for Markakis, both singles to center field. He's also struck out. The 0-2 straightens him up. That's to the backstop on the fly.
That's just a little bit high. This might go right out of the Amica box.
Fouled back, and it's still 2-2. Place Ticket, the official Red Sox ticket partner, has the best seats at the lowest prices to all the games at Fenway, all with a 200% guarantee. Visit Ace Ticket or call 1-800-MY-SEATS. Dubront was headed to the dugout, but it's ball 3.
Come on. They call that, they call a strikeout on Napoli last time up, and that pitch there just barely missing down and away. Good cut fastball from Dubront, does not get the call.
So now a 3-2 pitch to Markakis, who gets another chance. And he grounds it foul outside of first. Delman Young waiting on deck. 2 outs here in the top half of the 7th inning. Ball 4, he loses Markakis down to first base. That's the first walk given up by Dubront since the first inning, and only the second walk of his outing. And here comes John Farrell, so that's going to do it. The walk of Markakis is the end of this outing, and Dubront takes a peer into Mark Carlson, the home plate umpire, as Farrell comes to get him. Shinichi Tazawa has been warming in the pen, and he'll be coming into this game with the game tied 2-2 from Fenway.
Fenway Park, and a very nice afternoon for Felix Dubront. 7 strikeouts total on the afternoon, and control of just about all of his pitches in this ball game today. Fastball, good changeup, cut fastball, curveball. Dubront leaves this ball game with 2 outs in the 7th inning with a man at first base.
Markakis at first, 2-way, and Delman Young standing in here for the Orioles against Shinichi Tazawa. This call to bullpen is brought to you by your local New England Ford dealers. Young hits a fly ball to center field. Jackie Bradley Jr. headed back to make the catch. Right in front of the triangle to end the top of the 7th. It's 7th inning stretch, tied at 2. England. Toyota's website for deals via Toyota.com. The new Scion TC. And by Southwest Airlines. Nice day at Fenway Park. Game tied 2-2 here in the bottom of the 7th inning, as the Red Sox come to bat here against Bud Norris. We were talking about the list before, and some answers from Adam J. Kell, who checks in as part of the hashtag Nesson list. Boggs is a hitter, Robinson is a fielder, Schmidt for power, and Brett for intensity. So he's got it all covered there, Jerry.
He does. Brett had a little bit more than just intensity. He had an awful lot of talent, too, both defensively and offensively. That is a very difficult list to choose from.
Mike Carp leading it off and taking ball one.
As I said, I never played against Mike Schmidt. I did play against Brooks Robinson, and you couldn't hit anything by him down at third base. Played with Boggs. And, of course, against George Brett.
Action for Baltimore. Evan Meek warming in the pen. Pitch 94 for Norris. It'll be a strike, and it's 2-1. Mike Carp has had the misfortune of grounding into not one, but two double plays today. 6-4-3 in the first, 4-6-3 in the fourth. Pitching line for Bud Norris, brought to you by your Eastern Lexus dealers. 6+, 4 hits, 2 runs, a walk, and 6 Ks. And there's ball 4, leadoff walk for Mike Carp. It was only the second walk given up by Norris, the first since the first inning. So lead runner on.
Yeah, it's back-to-back very good outings for Norris. We mentioned his last outing earlier in the ball game. Very good outing last time out, and another good one here this afternoon. Red Sox have just been bundled up in these very, very tight ball games.
Now David Ross now bats 0 for 2 today. He struck out and fouled out. He is squaring and almost gets hit. Wow. So he's headed for his chest.
Yeah, you turn around, square in a bunt position, all of a sudden right at your head.
A little higher than I thought. Shadows encompassing the home plate area now as the afternoon wears on. Throw to first, and back to the bag is Carp. Squaring again, and again it's inside. 2-0.
Those are not pitches you want to offer at will, especially the first one. I mean, you got to get out of the way, but that one's a little bit high, and if you bunt at that, most of the time you bunt underneath it and pop it up.
He bunted at that, foul tipped it. 2-1.
Well, they could stay with the bunt here, or they could switch off to a possible hit and run.
Carp at first, nobody out. 2-1 the count here to David Ross. He is squaring again as they throw to first, and Carp back to the bag, but he was in the process of squaring. Pitch number 100 coming up here for Bud Norris of his outing. Ross gets his face out of the way again, and it's 3-1. And Ross yelling out at the pitcher, Bud Norris. And then Wieters got in the way. That's the third pitch that's been up near his head.
Yeah.
And the benches will empty here at Fenway Park. Umpires trying to send the players back to the dugouts here. Ross said something out to Norris. Norris kept coming from the mound, and that's when they emptied.
I think you got to remember one thing is that a couple of concussions last year for David Ross.
That's 3. Ross and Wieters continuing their conversation while Buck Showalter continues his with the umpire.
Yeah, I mean, there's no intent there, in my opinion, on Bud Norris to be trying to hit David Ross. But, you know, Ross is a little bit concerned, obviously, because of the couple of concussions that he had last year. Here's the first pitch up around the head.
Wow.
Which was very, very close. The second one not as close. And then the third one was a little bit closer. Wieters immediately stepping in to talk to Ross, talk catches talk.
So the count now 3-1. Battle continues here with Carp at first base, nobody out. Squaring again. And it's popped up as Davis dives and can't get it. Good bid by the Orioles first baseman and just out of his reach.
Now, excellent effort by Davis over at first base. Still playing in. Has to go to his left, goes into the dive, but can't come up with the pop-up. So the bunt will probably be removed now on the 3-2 count.
Three-two pitch. And a swing and a miss as Ross strikes out. And Norris comes back to get him for the first out. Unable to get the bunt down.
3-2 slider this time by Norris to pick up the strikeout. And Norris kind of looks at David Ross, say, you know, what's the deal, man?
Mika Insurance, great service, great coverage, and a great price for auto, home, or life insurance. 1 on, 1 out. Brock Holt now the batter. Holt hits it in the air towards right center field. On the run is Markakis. He's not going to get it. Into the gap. Carp coming around from first base is going to be waved around. He will score without a problem. Holt to third with a standing triple that has the Red Sox on top 3-2.
Well, the Red Sox were looking for some more offense out of that third base position, and Holt is giving it to him right here. He finds that gap in right center field. A fastball down around his ankles that is able to golf out there. And all the way to first base, from first base comes Carp. Holt to third base with 1 out, and out comes Showalter.
So Buck Showalter will take the baseball from Norris, who just did get up over 100 pitches, and departs. Trailing in this game now. The Red Sox have taken a 3-2 lead. Preplay mobile app. Download for free and start predicting every at-bat of every Red Sox game all season. Compete one-on-one with other Red Sox fans for a chance to win a Preplay Triple Crown.
I'm going to predict the squeeze if the count is right.
Jonathan Herrera, the batter, as Holt at third base, and he'll drop it down with a safety squeeze there, but it's fouled off.
Saw Herrera do that the other night with the bases loaded.
Infield in all the way around here for the Orioles with one out and Holt at third base. Evan Meek, the new pitcher here for the Orioles. Herrera squaring again, gets it down. Here comes Holt, and the flip is going to be late. Chris Davis took forever to get it out of his glove. He had it and was racing towards the plate, but cannot get it out, and the Red Sox take a 2-run lead. A safety squeeze, and the Red Sox take advantage.
Yeah, the problem here is Chris Davis could not get the ball out of his glove. He just keeps running toward home plate, almost like he was going to tag him himself. And by the time he makes the flip, it's too late. A little bit hard that time by Herrera, but that little delay by Chris Davis at first base is the difference. And there you see at third base, that's why they call it the safety squeeze. The runner at third waits till he sees the ball on the ground, then he determines if he can make it home.
Now it is Jackie Bradley Jr., who bounces one up the middle, could be two, tags second and fires to first as Hardy was going to cover. With Herrera taken off, it's an inning-ending double play, but a 2-run inning as the Red Sox on top 4-2. From Herrera.
Yeah, twice in a row he tried it. That's not an easy pitch to get down that first base line, too, because it was down and in. And there you see Davis running, almost like he wanted to run and tag the runner. Just couldn't get the ball out of his glove, it seemed like. And Holt, who gets the break at third base after reading the ball on the ground, scores the run. So Holt, Herrera coming up big in that inning for the Red Sox.
Adam Jones leading it off here for the Orioles in the 8th. And a fly ball to right field. Sunfield and Sizemore battling it for the first time. Will make the catch for the first out of the 8th inning. Red Sox made a defensive change as Johnny Gomes has taken over in left field for Mike Karp. Karp with a big leadoff walk to begin the bottom of the 7th inning. Now Tazawa on 2 pitches has, actually 3 pitches now. No, 2 pitches, has 2 outs. He had the final out of the 7th inning, and Delman Young, who flied out to center. And the first pitch of the 8th inning, Adam Jones flying out to right. So 1 down here in the 8th inning for Chris Davis. Davis has struck out, lined out to right, and been hit by a pitch. Full shift here employed by the Red Sox, right side of the infield. Pedroia in short right field. Davis fouls it back, 1-1. Well, it's time now for the AT&T fan photo of the game. Tweet your photo to hashtag NESN fan photo for a chance to be shown in our broadcast. Brought to you by AT&T. A.K. Butler sends in a picture of his 2 boys, all decked out in Red Sox gear. 1 out here in the 8th inning. Davis with a count of 1-1. Outside for ball 2. The Orioles have Ryan Webb up in the pen. Already seen Evan Meek come in for Bud Norris, who's charged with 4 runs in 6 1/3 innings. The starter for the Orioles on the hook. He came into this game 0-1. The 2-1 is down and in, 3-1. Line on Norris, 6 1/3, 5 hits, 4 runs. He walked 2 and struck out 7. Left with 2 inherited runners on, and they both scored. Swing and a miss. Full count now for Davis.
Good fastball by Tazawa, up and in on Davis. Try to tie him up inside, right at about the hands.
Davis now, Cruz on deck, 1 out here in the 8th. Davis strikes out. Tazawa gets his first K, 2 down in the 8th. Let's check in with Gary Streisky.
Yeah, guys, so we know Jonathan Herrera can bump, but the guy can play a little bit of defense, too, of course, getting the start at shortstop in place of Xander Bogaerts. Herrera was telling me he's made his living at second base with over 180 starts there in his 6 seasons with Colorado, but he prefers shortstop. He likes the ability to move laterally. He actually kind of praised Xander Bogaerts and his ability, even though Herrera's 8 years Bogaerts senior. He's taken some tips from Bogaerts, and it looks like it's working pretty swimmingly today on the left side of the infield, guys.
And Herrera and Holt have been up to the task today on the left side of the infield and contributing both offensively mightily in this game as well. 2 down in the 8th inning. Nelson Cruz batting. A little different look to the left side of the Red Sox infield today, and it's worked out. Going 1 to Nelson Cruz. A 2-hit day today for the Orioles left fielder. An open stance on the right side. That'll drop in there for strike 2. To the breaking ball, 0-2.
The backbreaker right there. The curveball from Tazawa. You can see a little flinch there from Cruz.
On the ground towards third. Holt charging in. Will fire in plenty of time. It's a 1-2-3-8 for Tazawa. It's a 4-2 Sox lead. TC and Tim Wakefield will be in the house. Marathon Remembrance Ceremony and Jerry Remy live. That's Monday at 10 a.m. on Nesson. Did you know you're going to be live, Jerry, on Monday?
I didn't know that until I just saw the promo.
You're going to be live.
What am I going to be doing?
I don't know, but it'll be live. 4-2. Red Sox have the lead. As Ryan Webb comes in, he is the third arm used today by Buck Showalter for the O's. Sixth appearance without a record, a 6.75 earned run average. Well, it's hitting at 304 against Webb. Grady Sizemore leading it off here in the home half of the eighth inning. And he hits one on the ground right side. Lombardozzi to first base. One down. We'll bring the family out to the ballpark for one of our Sox Savers games this season. Select April and May dates provide the lowest prices of the year, with tickets starting at just $10. To get your Sox Saver game tickets, visit www.redsox.com/tickets. A sold-out ballpark here today at Fenway is a great crowd on hand for day baseball. And they've enjoyed a Red Sox 4-2 lead right now with one out in the eighth. And Pedroia taking strike one. Dustin walked and scored back in the first inning. Since then, a strikeout and a double. There's strike two. Red Sox have their closer up in the pen, Koji Uehara. Picked up a save in the final game of the series in Chicago. Roy taps it foul at the plate. Into Pizzuti Henry along with Chairman Tom Werner taking in the ball game today. And nice day today in Boston and enjoying the score right now. The Red Sox on top 4-2. Outside for ball one. In the dirt outside, 2-2. David Ortiz waiting on deck. Red Sox trying to add on to their two-run advantage here in the eighth. Shadows about halfway to the mound now with the backdrop in the sunshine. And Pedroia lines it to right in for a base hit. Second hit of the day for Dustin Pedroia. Now today's game summary is brought to you by Xfinity. Bud Norris, a pitcher of record on the losing side right now for the O's. Went 6 1/3 innings today. Felix Dubront, 6 2/3 in this ball game. David Ortiz homered, his third of the year. It's been a good day for Brock Holt as well. 1 for 3 with an RBI triple. It's all part of a 4-2 Red Sox lead with one out and one on in the eighth. And David Ortiz coming up. Ortiz takes strike one. They shift here in the infield on the right side for Ortiz. Jonathan Scope, third baseman, of the shortstop spot, and bring J.J. Hardy, shortstop, to the right side of the infield. Check on Pedroia, back to the bag.
Good sign by Dustin Pedroia today, hitting the ball hard twice in the sixth inning, a double. Now the single, the hard single here in the eighth. He's also walked in this game.
Low and away. Well, Ryan Webb signed as a free agent by the Orioles, a 2-year contract in December. Spent last year with the Miami Marlins. First year out of the pen here for the O's. Brings the 1-1. 2-1. The Orioles in the top of the ninth inning will be expecting Matt Wieters, J.J. Hardy, and Jonathan Scope scheduled to bat in the inning. Tazawa ready in the pen for Boston. As the pitch will miss, and it's 3-1. Not only is the infield shifted, but the outfield as well. As they move Adam Jones over towards right center for Ortiz to pull. Pedroia goes, and Ortiz hits one to center right at Adam Jones, who makes the catch. And Pedroia back to the bag at first with 2 down. I want to remind you to stay tuned today following WB Extra Innings for Red Sox Final presented by Esurance. TC and Wake will preview tomorrow's game and the trending topics as well as clubhouse reaction. 2 down, Pedroia at first base, and Mike Napoli coming up. He's been on twice, reached on an error, single to center, and last time up struck out looking. Throw to first, and back to the bag is Pedroia.
Yeah, Pedroia had a great jump on that 3-1 count to David Ortiz. Of course, Ortiz hit the line shot to center field, but Pedroia had a terrific jump at first base. Now the attention from Webb.
Napoli takes the strike, 1-1. 94 on the fastball from Ryan Webb. A little bit low, 2-1. Turn throw drop by Webb, but he picks it up. Sizemore grounded out to begin the inning. Pedroia single to right. Ortiz lines one out to center field, and Adam Jones 2 down, a runner at first, and a 2-1 to Mike Napoli. That's in there for strike 2. Pedroia takes off. Napoli strikes out to end the inning. Koji Uehara will be on. It is 4-2 Boston. Park in the 7th inning. Some pitches pretty close to David Ross on a bunt bid that emptied the benches here as he took exception. He and Norris kind of got into it. Then a triple here to right center field for Brock Holt. It scores Mike Karp all the way from first base, but the Red Sox on top. And the safety squeeze dropped down by Herrera. And scoring from third base was Holt to give the Red Sox a 2-run advantage, an advantage they have into the 9th inning on top 4-2. And the closer in for Boston, Koji Uehara, as Matt Wieters leads it off and takes ball 1. Uehara's 7th appearance of the year. He's not given up a run in 6 innings so far in the season. Opponents hitting at just 174. As Wieters fouls it back, 1-1. I'll remind you to tune in to tonight's NESN Sports Today, presented by People's United Bank at 11 p.m. Leanne L. will have a full report from the Garden as the Bruins get ready for Game 2. Catch up with Emerson students who Boston Strong have its Boston Strong T-shirt campaign. Pitch is going to miss for a ball. Two-one pitch on the ground, foul outside of first. Two is just inside. And Wieters reached on an error his last time up and will walk to begin things here in the 9th inning.
Now that's something very rare right there, to see a walk from Uehara.
His first walk of the season, and Wieters aboard at first base to begin things in the 9th. Here's the potential tying run in J.J. Hardy, 0 for 3 in the game. Going away for ball 1. Hardy grounded out in the 2nd, struck out in the 5th, fly to center in the 6th inning. 1 for 6 in his career against Uehara. There's a strike, 1-1. Back with a fastball that time.
Uehara right down the middle of the plate with this one to get a strike.
Swing and a miss. Back to the splitter, 1-2.
Split-fingered fastball away from J.J. Hardy.
Try it again on a 1-2 pitch. And he gets him. Strikes out J.J. Hardy for the first out of the 9th inning.
Now the best split he's thrown so far. He kept it away and it really dipped. Dipped out of the strike zone for the no contact splitter.
One on, one out. And Jonathan Scope, the batter, after a 4-hit performance last night. So take a look at our Chevy key player. Scope takes the pitch a little bit high for ball 1. Today he has struck out, popped out to third, grounded out to third, 0 for 3. Away, and it's 2-0. Swing and a miss. Fastball, too, and he was ready for it. 2-0. Couldn't catch up to it, though.
Yeah, Scope right there trying to tie this ball game with one swing of the bat. Had the count in his favor. 2 balls, no strikes. Got the fastball and looking for the long ball.
swing and a miss. That one by him. Another fastball. 2-2.
A better location that time from Uehara. Keeps it away from Scope.
On the ground, foul. Matt Wieters, a leadoff walk in the ninth inning, still standing at first base with one out in the inning. And back to the fastball again here. The count of 2-2. And a swing and a miss. They strike out Scope. 2 down. Back-to-back Ks for Uehara.
Now, most of his strikeouts come on split-fingered fastballs, but not this time. It's the fastball, and it's only 86 miles an hour. But good enough for the second out of the ninth.
2 down for Steve Lombardozzi, who is 0 for 3 in this game. Lombardozzi is grounded out to third, flied out to center, and popped out to first base. Strike one. Koji Uehara trying to get his 4th save of the year. Line drive down the left field line. A foul ball. And it's 0-2. Holmes wasn't sure he was coming up firing, but the call a foul ball from Paul Schreiber, the third base umpire.
No question about that one.
Oh, and 2 the count to Lombardozzi. 2 outs in the ninth. The 0-2 pitch. He struck him out and the Red Sox win. Koji Uehara strikes out the side, and Boston's able to take game 2 of the series. Well, Boston today, well-pitched ball game and some key hits at the right time, and Koji Uehara does what he does as he comes on to pick up his 4th save of the year. And the Red Sox win it 4-2. Some big hits today and great contributions from both Brock Holt at third base and Jonathan Herrera at shortstop, and a home run today for Big Papi. It's all part of a 4-2 win, as Tom Caron, the Red Sox needed this as they take the game today and take game 2 of the series.